the blockchain breeze. He's live every day, decode the mazes. JJ's cryptic corner, where the coins keep turning. Log in now, the future's burning. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner. Pixels glow, charts flow, crypto whispers, secrets show. He cracks the code on this winding road. JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic corner, JJ's cryptic. Tune in, lean back, grab your coffee, hit the track. JJ's live, don't be late. Cryptic wisdom, seal your fate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Happy Saturday. How's everyone doing today? Guys, smash the like button on your way in. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Let's see. Gotta switch a couple of things over. My audio level should be significantly higher than normal. Let me know. And I am posting a poll in the chat. Please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. I asked you guys, do you think that was the bottom? Yes, bottom is in. Let's effing go. No dead cat bounce right now. Yes. But now we range, or no, so much lower. Let me know what you guys think. Let's see. Hey, reporting live. Because we had a little bit of a pump today, I actually quit my part-time job at McDonald's, so I'm back in the command center, and we are good to go now. I told my boss to F himself. Probably never working at that McDonald's ever again. But, it is what it is. Hopefully the market continues to go up now, because that was a decent paying part-time McDonald's gig. We'll see what happens though. What's going on? 88 Metals Mania. Tom Selleck Scout. Tom Selleck Scout said, why is Zcash and Pepe pumping? Everything's pumping. Sound on point. I like to hear that. 88 Metals Mania said, LOL. Indeed. Bitcoin currently trading at $69,628.39. Let's go refresh our liquidation heat map and probably get kicked out. Let's see. Oh, nope, they kept me logged in. Let's go. Okay, 12 hour. Okay, sweet. Weekend liquidity, 70,248. 72.48. And then up top, let's go all the way up here, 71,406. We got a rumor coming out of the White House. Technically not a rumor, it was from Trump himself, about the Clarity Act potentially passing soon. 69,290. I believe, I could be wrong, I believe that is what led to the little pumperino today. 68,030. It could literally just be like a dead cat bounce though. Now like 20% pumps on them. Pepe and Zcash. Yeah, I really think it's just because the rest of the market pumped. Pepe. Yeah, big boy pump over here. 26%. Zcash. Zcash got started a little bit early. Technically 40% if you start from the actual macro bottom right there. Very nice. Yeah, those are just big boy pumps. Fartcoin had a huge, enormous pump. This candle alone is 9.01%. Doge had a big pump as well. Look at Doge. Doge at one point, 16%. Let's see what else. Pengu, I know, had a huge pump as well. 25%. Meme coins just pump harder. And Zcash might be considered a meme depending on who you ask. Okay, let's see. Market's looking tasty today, guys. I'm excited. Bitcoin 69, 669.99. Hell yeah. That's screenshot worthy right there, man. What a beautiful number. I'm just going to stare at it for a second. Wow. Oh, it's gone. That was pretty cool. Return of the memes. Did Snack? Snack did pump today. Yes, of course. Along with everything else. I'm not impressed, though. We just had 50% the other day. 2 times in a row, so 15% is a little bit of nothing, you know. If it's not 15, if it's not 40 or 50, I'm not even getting out of bed. 40 right there, 50 right there, you know, 15, that's chump change. So I got pretty high standards, you know, being a snack aficionado myself. I can get my other snack stuff, but I don't want to turn this into, I don't want the stream to be about me, you know, and my enormously large snack bag. You had your pumps already, bragger? Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. See, I don't want to belittle your little 20%ers on Zcash and let's continue. Bitcoin looking good. Down 0.34 since the daily close. Currently, like I said, 69, 69, 69. Very nice. We like that number. ETH down 1.26% since the daily close. Currently sitting at 2,059.18 cents. We are back above 2K on ETH. That is very exciting. Tom Selleck Scout said, I'm only down 150% of my snack bag. You should have DCA'd, my friend, not financial advice. Saeed said, hi, sir. How you doing, Saeed? Happy Saturday for me, Sunday for you. Good morning, my friend. Appreciate you for stopping by. We were able to get out of the McDonald's lobby because the market pumped a little bit today. So we're back in the command center. Rent is $10,000 a month, and we are currently inside of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai because that's where all the crypto people go. And because we're a very successful crypto person, all of a sudden, that's where we are. You can tell though that there's no windows. That's because we're actually in the basement. I can't afford this place. It's very expensive. Okay. Yeah, ETH back above 2K. That's exciting. Psychological level. Big deal. Let's see if this continues or if this ends up becoming something of a, I don't know, some kind of like a ranging wedge that we're going to have to break out of. Time will tell. RSI testing that moving average. And we got a red dot in the momentum wave actually pointing down on Market Cipher. So we'll see what happens with that. Solana's down 0.39% on the day, currently trading at 87.73. Getting back above 90, like I said, is going to be a big deal for Solana. It's struggling a little bit right now. Probably doesn't help. I'm pretty sure the founder came out and there was like some metric posted from some news place that was like Solana transactions, blah, blah, blah. And the founder of Solana, who's like still very much like pro Sol, reposted it and said, it's all bots. So I don't know if he meant for that to be as what's the term, incendiary as it was, but it was very much not a good thing to say about your own chain. Tom Selleck Scout said, man, Pith also went a bit ham. A little pulled back right now. Let's go check Pith. This is why this is the FOMO that you're feeling right now, just so you know, Tom Selleck Scout. This is why we buy when everyone hates everything, including yourself. When you hate everything, you got to load up. Now, what we don't want on Pith is for this to be what's happening right now. You got dip 1, dip 2, recovery, and then downside. Same exact thing that it did back here, but just on a larger scale. Dip 1, dip 2, recovery, recovery, downside, downside. Same exact thing. So we want to make sure that that doesn't play out. Or if it does, maybe take advantage of it. Soul Founder came out of the closet. Did he really? Remember, wasn't there a rumor that, I don't remember if it was the Uniswap guy or the Sushi Swap guy, one of the two, there was a rumor that they like had relations with a horse. I think it was a sushi guy because I remember being like, man, that would have been perfect if it was the Uniswap guy. Or maybe it was the Uniswap guy and I thought that it was perfect. I don't know. Weird stuff, man. The word of mouth smear campaigns are probably the most effective. Tom Selleck Scout said, oh, I own all of these already, but I only DCA Bitcoin and ETH now. Not all this other garbage. 88 Metals Mania said, what the F? Okay. I don't know what happened if it's the green screen, but my beard looks fabulous. Look at this. Look at this. Ooh. Do it. Ooh. I don't know how to... I'm sorry. I don't know how to be sexy. Been out of the game for like 30 years. Okay. Solana. Point... Is this right? No, this is Pith. My bad. It was deceptive. So yeah, we want to make sure Pith actually holds up this pump. Otherwise, it's just going to be a repeat. Same thing right here. Little double bottom thing. Recovery, downside. Double bottom thing. Recovery, downside. Double bottom thing. Recovery, downside. It's weird. Double bottom thing. Recovery, downside. It's like changing trajectory. Maybe eventually it'll curl back up. But for now, it's a weird one. Total 3 down 0.05%. We got our little Adam Eve going on, which is on most altcoin charts right now. We observed that yesterday and the day before. Are we going to get back above 750 billion? My bearish guess for bear market bottom was actually 711 billion. And I mean, that was very clearly wrong. This is a significant deviation, so I'm not going to take credit at all for any victory there. We are technically overbought on the 4-hour RSI. Let's go check out the daily, see where we're at. Daily looks good, actually. We were oversold at the Pico bottom right there. Got a nice little bounce recovery with a retrace continuation to the upside. Doesn't look too bad, actually. I don't mind it. Can we continue? We get a nice cloud on Market Cipher on the lower half. And RSI looks like it may be going to retest 40. If we break below that, then we'll try to retest our moving average. See if we can climb up onto that. That'll be exciting. Tom Selleck Goat said, and stocks, I DCA a lot of stocks. I like insecure Tom Selleck Goat. He's like, what's up with all these coins pumping a lot? I only own Bitcoin and ETH, but I do own these other things. I just don't DCA to them. And I DCA stocks too. I have a lot of stocks, so many stocks, the most stocks, all of them as well. Only the good ones. JJ rubbing his beard on V-Day got us all rock hard. Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day, guys. I love you. Beautiful, every single one of you guys. I know exactly what you all look like. It's not at all concerning. I'm a majority stakeholder in Palantir. We collected your information a long time ago. Okay. Yeah, total 3, very cool. Looking good. ADA up 0.2% on the day. ADA was doing really good earlier. It was one of the few that actually pumped pretty hefty. Up 12-13% from that 26-22 October 10th Binance Wick fill. Allegedly Binance Wick. So that'll be cool. See if this thing can get back above 30 and climb out of this. I don't know if you guys are aware. ADA just barely out of the top 10. If you don't include stablecoins, it's still technically in the top 10. But we're not here for technicalities or semantics. We're here for, we're here to make money. You know, let's not try to sugarcoat it. We're here to make money. Whether or not that's tomorrow or a couple years from now, that's up for debate. I'm also not a financial advisor. I think I have to say that after I just said we're here to make money. So, but ADA was literally at its bear market bottom. Bear market in 2023. Wicked all the way down to 0.2165. Right now, ADA just went down to 0.2689. So, 21, let's do 6.5 over here. 6.5. That is the bear market bottom, wick, from way back here. And we did break this beautiful formation. That formation was broken in January, so that's a little bit sad. But you can't win them all. That pulse said, he is the literal goat after all. So, exciting stuff going on ADA. Finally, waking back up. Very, very close to its bear market low of 21.65. It's off by like 2 pennies. So, crazy, crazy, crazy accumulation under 30 cents if you believe in the project. Same with Solana, crazy accumulation under $100 if you believe in the project. Ethereum, crazy accumulation under 2K if you believe in the project. Bitcoin, crazy accumulation under 70K if you believe in the project. All of these projects tremendously undervalued, in my opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, but I am in a beautiful command center in the basement of the Burj Khalifa. Don't tell anyone. I'm not actually supposed to be here. I lied about paying rent. My buddy works here, and he helped me build a cinder block wall in a room that was just used for, like, storage. So this is I actually sleep here. It's very creepy at night. It's so creepy. You would be surprised how much noise a skyscraper makes in the basement at night in the desert with, like, artificial water and people. Okay, snack down 2.27% on the day since the daily close, which was very recent, like 2 hours ago. Looks like we're potentially rejecting 63.78. What is that? That's a nothing burger. Looks like we are potentially rejecting 64? 64, sure. Which happens to be this. So we came down here, we bounced off of 6, rejected 64, continued the downside, resistance at 6, got above it, held it as support, resistance again at 6, kind of played around with it, we're back above it. Looks like 64 right now is a little interim potential resistance, maybe based on this rejection back here. We'll see what plays out. Right now I'm happy that it's back above 6, man. 4 and 5, beautiful accumulation zones. 6 is awesome. Big numbers, big numbers. Saeed said, make a vlog and post as long as you are there. From the creepy basement. It's much better than McDonald's, man. Did you see yesterday's stream, Saeed? The McDonald's stream? It was a fun time. It was a fun time. All right, we got 8 votes so far, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. We've been lacking a little bit in the like department. It is Valentine's Day, and I'm live streaming for you guys. So I politely request that you gently love tap the like button and use protection. Unless you don't want to. It's completely up to you. I'm not a financial advisor, nor am I any kind of family advisor or planner or anything like that. Midnight, up 0.11% on the day. Midnight had quite a run here. We were dancing around between 46 and 54. That got a little crazy. We got a little bounce here, a little fake out below, rejection twice, support, and then a little midpoint at 0.05. Nice psychological level that acted as a support springboard for us to get back above 54, 55. Currently trading at 59.60. Are we going to get above 6 cents next? And if we do, where are we going from there? Is the fugly inverse head and shoulder in play? Or is that technically just like a little goofy little triple bottom? I don't know. Technically, I think that this would have to touch in order for that neckline to be valid. So ignore the potential fugly inverse head and shoulder. Guys, movie recommendation of the day. Oh, shoot. What's it called? Okay, hang on. It's called Good Fortune. It is on Stars at the moment. I think it's just Stars is relatively cheap. It's the Keanu Reeves, Seth Rogen, Aziz Ansari comedy where Keanu Reeves plays an angel, like a guardian angel, and Aziz Ansari's character is like miserable, and there's like this tech bro, and Keanu Reeves' angel character like switches his lives with the tech bros, and then he gets in trouble because the guy doesn't want to change back because he's got all this money and no worries now and he had all these other problems in his old life. It's really funny. It's good stuff. Highly recommend. Great movie. Well, the funny line in the trailer is Keanu Reeves' angel, like boss lady Martha, is like, what did you do? And he explains the whole thing. He's like, I was trying to show him that money doesn't solve all your problems. And she goes, and he goes, it appears to have solved most of his problems. Oh man, it was a good one. It was a good one for sure. Highly recommend. Tom Solskjaer said, I'm not a financial advisor, but I do have an amazing beard that I can rub as I talk to you to make myself more convincing. Whatever do you mean? Saeed said, make a vlog. Oh, yesterday it was Valentine's Day in India. I enjoyed Bollywood music. No live streams or trading. All right, I respect it. Well, do I showcase it? Yesterday I was in McDonald's, which just so happens to be here. I was broadcasting from my my part-time job. I gotta get out of here though. I did just quit, so going back to the office, the cyberpunk office. Okay, happy Valentine's Day, Saeed. XRP up 1.18%. Very nice bounce off of 134. They seem like random lines, they really do, until they actually play out. XRP pulled back all the way to 120, just below my bearish target of 122, which is probably from way back when, you know, before any of this even played out. But I kept the line there, and the text stayed with it, so we're gonna keep it and say that we pulled back to there, bounced, got a nice little tweezer bottom with these wicks, got back above 134 and kind of teased around that, eventually got a double bottom off that and busted to the upside. We're back above 150 right now, which is a nice psychological level. Are we going to get above 160 and continue to the upside and see if we can get back above $2 again? That would be exciting. Potential Adam Eve here as well. This looks very nice. We're like right there at that, what I would call the neckline of that Adam Eve. So let's see what that brings us. We are overbought on the 4 hours, so exercise caution, even though I'm not a financial advisor. H-bar, even though they've cured cancer, they've still kind of stagnated just above 10 cents. Very nice that they got above 10 cents. We had a very hefty resistance line right here at 95. 95 was holding pretty harsh. We got below that. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rejections before we finally broke on the 7th attempt. Pretty epic. Back above 10 cents. Can we continue to 11.5 next? We were oversold for a hot second. We're back in the safe zone, about to retest that moving average to see if we break below that and continue to the downside for a nice pullback, or if we linger sideways and reset that RSI. Here's my big concern, very similar to Zcash and whatever else we were just looking at earlier, is we don't want to do this again. With that sideways, with that nice recovery, and then the eventual chop down. We don't want to do that again, because that seems to be a recurring pattern. Now back here, yeah, back here, see, we even went overbought back here too, so this could just be like a little weekend funk to get some more exit liquidity. Time will tell. A lot of news going around. I'm excited for the news segment because that's actually where most of the beef came in today. I'm gonna skip around, skip. Swede, Nothing Burger, Fartcoin, Avalanche. Barely on the upside. It is past what I would call the neckline on that moving average, or on not on the moving average, on the Adam Eve potential. We are overbought. We're barely in the safe zone now. Let's see if we end up retesting that moving average on the RSI. We do have a red dot in the momentum wave on market cipher, so we're probably going to pull back here a little bit. I would like to get back above 10 on Avalanche. Chainlink, a little bit behind Avalanche. It is slowly closing the gap, catching up at $9.07. We are, again, watching this potential Adam Eve double bottom. We never went overbought on the moving average over here, or on the RSI, which is good. Does look like we're about to test that moving average, so we'll keep an eye on that. Red dot of the momentum wave. Money flow just flipped green on Chainlink. That's a big deal. Same with Avalanche. Let's actually go back test this a little bit. SWE, negative. H-bar, positive, big deal. XRP, positive, big deal. Midnight, positive, big deal. SNEC, negative. ADA, whoops, positive, big deal. Total 3, positive, big deal, I think. Solana, positive, big deal. ETH, negative. Bitcoin, negative. Interesting, okay. So there you have it. It looks like altcoins are showing more strength. Bitcoin had a little baby recovery, but obviously altcoins outperform most of the time. Smaller market cap makes more sense, less money required to move it. Arrow, I feel like I got an alert for Arrow earlier. It is right at the neckline. Whoops. Let's see. Arrow, currently up 20% from that peak go low. Very nice. That is why Warren Buffett is one of the greatest investors of all time. Buy when there's blood in the streets. Be greedy when others are fearful. It's very smart advice. Fartcoin, epic explosion to the upside. A fart you can trust. 30%, very nice. Avalanche we went over. Chainlink we went over. Monad I got some alerts for. It's up and down. This thing is volatile. Somebody loaded up the other day. Right here, I think. Yeah, that's a 16% candle. So not accounting for that little pullback right there. If you would have bought on that little pullback, you would currently be up 24%. Big pump on Monad. Very cool. Pengu also had a big boy pump. We'll go from this little pullback right here. Rejection off of 65. You would be up 25%. Very nice. Gold up 2.46% on the day, looking like it is back above 5K and beautifully following the hand-drawn gold fractal. Maybe even coupling with the OG hand-drawn gold fractal. Yeah, that sounds disgusting. Very dirty on Valentine's Day. Coupling with the OG hand-drawn gold fractal. Lunar Entity said, just checked on junk credit spreads. We are starting to climb some weekly moving averages, both exponential and smooth. Really need to see a rejection at the 50 exponential moving average would be a huge long signal. That's very exciting. Let us know if that comes in or if you want us to check the charts. Okay. Silver. I'm very excited for gold to start Monday to see if this thing continues to climb, and then obviously towards the end of the week we'll see that pullback. Thursday, Friday, everyone gets all depressed again, and then Sunday, Monday, we start pumping again, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, JJ is literally the greatest, most best-looking, smartest bearded man on YouTube. We should all subscribe to him and smash the like button on his channel, on his live streams, because they're so great. But we'll see if that happens. Silver, up 2.81% on the day, currently trading at $77, even 77 on, mind you, yesterday was Friday the 13th. Before Valentine's Day. What does that mean? Let me tell you. The Friday the 13th before Valentine's Day is the day before Valentine's Day. And it just so happens to fall on a Friday. That's it. Tom Sellex said, Gold Fractal has been one of the best ever on this stream. It really has been. I'm very, very proud of this fractal. I am. And I don't know if we've ever fractaled gold, have we? I mean, we've drawn some shit. I mean, I guess technically those have played out too. Like, I like accidentally charted this very well. And this is me being like a overly bullish idiot. Just saying gold's going to go up to $5,800. And then I was like, well, that's way too much. And I think on the same day, I was like, 52 sounds good. Is that the 13th, JJ? So the 13th, yes, is actually the day before the 14th. And in February, the 14th of the month, is Valentine's Day. 1, 2, count on your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Start over. 11, 12, 13. Ready? 14. It's because that's why. You guys ever see that guy's videos? He does like the English teacher parodies. And he's like, what is this word? And the guy's like, cough. And he's like, okay, very good. And he's like, so what is this word? And it spells dough. And the guy's like, co? And he's like, no. It's so funny, dude. And then he explains it and it doesn't make any sense. And he just goes, it's because that's why. It's so funny. Lunar Entity said, commodities have underperformed nearly every cycle, save for the initial decoupling. This could very well be their age. 88, yep, Saeed said, because of U.S. and Iran geopolitical tension, there is a rally in gold. I actually think that the rally in gold and silver is because of everything. The market is so uncertain that gold and silver just took off. And right now, I feel like if it was geopolitical tensions in Iran, it would be gold and silver. Silver's lagging a little bit in comparison to gold. Look at it, silver had a big fat dump. Gold did not, or I guess it did. It just recovered better. I think gold has more demand via China. I think China is kind of de-risking everything and just loading up heavy on gold, which is really funny because gold is one of the only assets that I do not own at all. I have like 2 very small pieces of like maybe 16 karat jewelry from like my dad, but as an investment vehicle, I have 0 gold. So that is what it is. Lunar Entity said, even more so than the U.S. markets on a global scale are in the most uncertain state since the World War I, World War II period. Yes, JJ has it to a T. The U.S. signaling reshoring of manufacturing was one of the most turbulent announcements in decades. Yeah, it's Trump. I'm going to call it the Trump effect has been very, very uncertain this time around. His first term wasn't so much. I think he was planning on doing a second term. I don't actually know why he wouldn't do it in the first term in the first place. Maybe the 4 years during Biden, he just had time to make up this crazy plan. And he executed that plan this time around, which is it's been pretty spectacular in the way of fireworks at the very least. So if nothing else, it is incredibly entertaining and different. Like, I say this all the time. I don't know if people believe me, but I don't really give a shit. I'm not a political person. I could give a crap less about who's sitting in the White House. If they affect my day-to-day life in a positive way, then I will have enjoyed their presidency. If they affect my day-to-day life in a negative way, then I will hate their presidency. I have not had my life affected in a negative way by a president since I turned into an adult. I've received money from both Donald Trump and Joe Biden, technically speaking, via student loan forgiveness. I actually got more value out of Biden, but I will say, as far as news and stuff goes, Joe Biden's presidency was in fact sleepy as F. That was the most boring period in politics I think I've ever witnessed. And I was fully paying attention as much as I am today. There was just nothing to really pay attention to at all. It kind of blows my mind that that time even existed. Tom Scout said, yep, and the uncertainty came from other countries about the dollar. China has been selling a ton of dollars for gold, and so are a bunch of other countries. Arrest CZ. And then Lunar Entity said Russia announced in a leaked memo that they are planning to pivot back to the dollar. Even the BRICS trade is uncertain. Let's freaking go, dude. All the AutoPen president, dude, that cracks me up too. The stupid pictures and the dumbass, like, the paragraphs of like narcissistic rants underneath all of the portraits in the White House. Like Trump, I really do think that he is just some random ass guy that won the presidency. Who else would ever do that? He's not a career politician. He's just an asshole, and it's really funny. Okay. What was I saying before that? The Russian leak thing, that cracks me up. I really feel like Putin just wants a friend, and I think that Trump is such a, like, cuckoo that Putin is probably like, I like this guy, because Russians are crazy. They're crazy mother effers. There is a reason why all the cool ass games, cool indie video games, are Russian, because they are insane, in the best way. What's the term? Slovakian? Just the people in that part of the country. Very pleasant people, in my opinion, in the craziest way possible. Like all of them. Russia, Ukraine, Czechoslovakia, I think they're all amazing people. Cryosan, one of my favorite YouTube channels. They translate to English and like upload their videos. They are straight out of the Ukraine. They literally like go to Chernobyl all the time. They're freaking hilarious. Like I'm not a big, I can't watch subtitle shit. Like when I watch something in English, I turn on subtitles, but I need the English dub as well. So it's a big deal for me to like an English dub anything. And these guys are amazing. Literally never in my life would I ever have thought I would have enjoyed English dubbed YouTube videos. These guys are hilarious. Look up Cryosan English on YouTube. Funny as hell. Lunar Entity said, the moment for me was when he was wearing a MAGA hat. He really, truly had no idea what was going on. See, I don't know if that's true. I'm convinced that him and his wife voted for the Republicans because his wife was decked out like head to toe red when they went and voted. You don't do that if you're voting for the blue people. So I thought that was kind of crazy. But maybe they're both lost. Anyways, Trump's pretty old too, though. I don't know. They all crack me up, dude. It's I stand by my original concept. We could pay off the national debt if we just put reality TV crew in the White House. That shit would be funny as hell. Plus, it'd be transparent. Like, we got body cams on police. Why can't we have body cams on politicians too? I want body cams on every politician now. I'm gonna disappear, dude. I'm joking. I'm not advocating for this at all. Please don't disappear me. Oh man. Tom Scout said, in Russia, you box bear and forest. That is true. I seen it. Anyway, silver, kind of flatlining. We'll see if it recovers come Monday. Otherwise, continuation of the downside potentially in the cards. It does look like it's bottomed for a little short period of time, but you never know. Green dot in the momentum might point to the upside, potentially failing. Bullish cross over the moving average and the RSI attempt. We'll see what plays out. I said a while ago when this first got above $100, big tech can't really afford for silver to be ridiculously high valuation. And I think Elon nailed it when he talked about it. Everyone's like, silver, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's Elon like posted about it. He's like, this is not good. This is not a good thing. So the richest man in modern history probably knows a thing or two about precious metals and their valuation and their use in literally all of the stuff that he has his hands in. Anyways, DXY still well below its 15-year trend line. This is a big deal. We've been looking at this trend line for a little while. It goes all the way back to April 2011. The fact that the DXY is closing daily and weekly candles below this is huge. We established it, like I said, April 2011. We got a little double bottom in 2021 and another double bottom in 2025. In 2026, we just broke right through it. It continued trading sideways, and now it's showing signs of weakness. And what's crazy is, somebody asked about QQQ the other day. Same exact pattern. It's almost like the rock and roll horns pattern. And then it eventually takes a big fat dump. You know? Do you see it? This fat hand. You see it, right? Interesting. Very, very interesting observation with DXY. It's going to be weird to see where it goes. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll continue to keep an eye on it. I think I'm most excited now that we're pretty much at the halfway point of the month for the next ISM PMI print in March. That's going to be a big one because this one got above 50. And we pointed out before with Bitcoin, this is 2018 bull market. This is 2021 bull market. And then the peak. You got pre-halving all-time high. You got second peak. And then for some reason you got third peak down here. With this gigantic spike, the correlation data, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them spiking above 50. 4 out of 5. What is that? 80% hit rate for Bitcoin, making tremendous gains off of bullish prints. Even technically not even expanding above 50. Like this one got above 50. We got a big pump on that one. This one went above 50. Huge pump on that one because that was 4 consecutive in a row. This one was only 1. This one right now so far is 1. If we get 2, we get another one next month, maybe up here, or even if it's just like a little bit stagnant but still in expansion, I think it's going to be huge affirmation for the market. Lunar Entity said, in hindsight, Joe was probably perfect for the near-miss financial storm that occurred in 2022. Yeah, I mean, like I said, my life was affected positively by both of the most recent presidents. However, Joe technically, but I don't even, like, the stimmies are almost inconsequential compared to the amount of money that I saved through Biden for giving my student loan. That was huge for me because I don't use my degree. So why would I pay for it? You know what I mean? And I can't use it either. I literally can't transfer the credits or anything. The college is gone. It is gone. They closed their doors. They don't exist. I couldn't even get my diploma if I wanted to. Lunar Entity said, asleep at the wheel, Powell printing billions in short-end treasuries, auto industry stimulus disguised as EV incentives, etc. I mean, yeah, that technically is what spearheaded Elon's wealth, is it not? That's actually kind of crazy to think about. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, I showed you guys the other day, but I did stop by the strategy headquarters. Again, Sailor was not there, but they are hiring. So I did consider, I got an application, paper application, because they can't afford digital right now. Anyways, 134.24. up 8.85%, which is very interesting. We do got this potential Adam Eve double bottom situation here as well. Keep in mind, Vanguard, for the first time ever, did buy some strategy on January 20th. Now, one of them, I'm probably going to get rid of something in the watch list. What are we going to do? Which one are we going to get rid of? Oh, Ondo did really good as well. I didn't talk about Ondo. Ondo from, let's go pull back again to current price, up 17-18%. Pretty hefty recovery out of Ondo. That's very exciting. But back to topic. MicroStrategy, aka Big B Coffee, looking good so far. We'll see what Monday brings, obviously. But Bitminer, or Bitmine, whatever it's called, Bitmine Immersion Technologies, I think I'm gonna start to accumulate some of this. Yeah, I think Ethereum has more value proposition than Bitcoin, and I know that the Bitcoin maxis will lose their minds when they hear me say that. I apologize, you know, I don't see it with Bitcoin. Obviously, the market cap's significantly higher. I see it maybe having a different use case and probably outperforming ETH for all of eternity, if that makes you feel better. But as far as value proposition goes and reasons to buy the coin, I feel like ETH has a bigger incentive, and technically, because the market cap is so significantly lower than Bitcoin, it has a higher return, potential return on investment, in my opinion. That being said, with Bitmine Immersion Technologies holding such a large chunk of it, and not only that, but also, this is what really sold me. I was listening to Paul Barron on my way home the other day. Never really even knew who this guy was until recently. I like his videos. He's got good insights, good listen on the drive home. He mentioned the Beast Industries investment from Tom Lee. And I was like, interesting that anybody gives a crap about that. And Tom Lee, he played the clip again, and Tom Lee's talking about how Mr. Beast is the largest creator on the planet for the next generation and just in general. Like, more people watch him than probably anything else ever. And this dude is getting into cryptocurrency, and Tom Lee gave him a ass ton of money, and now all of a sudden he's buying Step, which is a financial services app. It was like some airdrop Solana token thing or whatever. So that's Mr. Beast doing all of that, and Tom Lee being in the position that he's in, basically being like a financial, I don't know, toolbox for Mr. Beast. It struck a chord with me in my brain. I'm like, damn, if this thing goes on a crazy exponential run because of that investment into Beast Industries or whatever, and that connection, I'm going to be so pissed in 5-10 years when I sit back and I watch this thing go crazy and I go, damn, that was so obvious. It was so obvious when that happened. And for some reason, I just completely dismissed it. Didn't even cross my mind at all whatsoever. So because of that, and because of the quantity of times that I've fumbled the bag already, I am going to be significantly dollar cost averaging into Bitmine from this day forward. Not financial advice. I feel like the value proposition far outweighs the risk at this point. And maybe that's stupid. Maybe that's stupid. I will gladly be an idiot in that case, because if that's the case, then everything else will probably fail too, so it won't really matter. Tom Sellerscout said ETH is going to run hard at some point. Oh, he's a financial toolbox. All right. Do you guys remember Strategy's monstrosity run? This one was crazy. And it was really fun to chart and to watch. Look at this. We charted this. This is when I first started streaming. August, September 2024 right here. And I was like, oh my gosh, check this out. And then we did that. And then it went boop, boop. And then it exploded. This beautiful little double bottom right here with a lower low, which we've talked about 1,000 times. Exploded to the upside. And you know what? This actually probably is more like this. And I bet you this was the fake out to the downside, which we've talked about 1,000 times as well. But keeping it the same, that run right there, if I would have dollar cost averaged into that and maybe tried to take profit around $300-400, because that's reasonable, that's 240-250%. That's freaking insane. So I just think it's silly to not try to take advantage on potentially the next one with maybe even more upside potential. Let's see. A little bit sloppy. Maybe we can slop up a little bit of something here. We get a little fake out right there. I like that. Let's do that. Let's slop together a pattern Yeah, I could sell this on TikTok. I've literally never done anything on TikTok. I do have a TikTok, but I don't use it for anything crypto at all. I'll take it. I'll take it. So we got 1, 2 hits to the downside, our current fake out pending at the apex of the triangle, and then we've got 1, 2 hits to the upside, 3, technically maybe 4 if you want to count that. But I like it. It's very much, look at this, volatile, explosive swings, calming down, taking deep breaths, doing some yoga stretches, ready to go, and then boom. But that part hasn't played out yet. So we'll see. We will see, man. Logo's in the way of the chart. Is there a logo? What logo? Bro, the logo's in the way of the chart. What, did somebody subscribe? What logo are you talking about? Hang on. Bro, the logo's in the way of the chart. I don't see it. What logo? Looks fine on my end. Okay. Crypto Spaces said, well, it's at an 11 billion market cap stock. It's not that risky. Lunar Entity said, I see Bitcoin and Ethereum as gold and the dollar. The dollar's movement was in 1985 after the Plaza Accord. Yes, the intrinsic value of the dollar has tanked, but equities have outperformed as a result. Ethereum is in a similar posturing. If it becomes a major financial rail, it'll have a similar value proposition. Like it. Big B Coffee. Oh. I mean, we were talking about that part. We were talking about this. And we're zoomed out. Okay, let's zoom back in. It has significantly decoupled from this potential fractal right here. For strategy specifically. Crypto Spaces said could get a 10x on Bitmine. I like it. Yeah, let's see what happens, man. Paul Barron refers to this as Monster, I think? Or Mister? I don't remember. I thought it was kind of funny. Because he's just kind of reading the ticker. NASDAQ. NASDAQ looks pretty chill. Down 0.16%. Let's actually go check after hours really quick. Stock market after hours. Down 0.16 on CNN stock market after hours for the NASDAQ. We are down, or I'm sorry, we are up 0.02. So we'll see what happens with that. S&P on after hours is actually down 0.08. It closed on Friday at up 0.05. Kind of a nothing burger, a little flat line going on here. We'll see what happens. The fractal, which I think we did the math, it's like 80% accurate. But this little deviation so far, this little bitty deviation so far is kind of screwing up our mojo. Like this specifically right here is completely different. But we could try to justify this little dip because it's kind of in the same spot. So we'll see if anything comes of that. Outside of that, though, Ask Fractal 3.0 looking pretty decent. I'll take it 80% for my third hit, you know. We've done a million fractals. I think the S&P Ask Fractal 1.0, Ask Fractal Senior, if you will. Ask Fractal the first was actually our original Fractal Farquad spawning fractal. So cheers to that. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Once again, happy Saturday. Thanks for joining me. Ooh, that's delicious. That is delicious. We're going to continue to invest into batshit crazy investments. I appreciate you guys being here along the ride. Very exciting stuff. Join the Discord if you guys haven't already. It's completely free. It's a ton of fun. The stock channel in the Discord is top notch. Good calls in there. Brilliant calls. DJ Flexa, one of our frequent viewers and a close friend of mine, I consider him. We go back years. He actually recommended AMD before the monstrous run. And we did capitalize on that. So, what else? Viking Therapeutics is a good hit of mine. Plug Power did really well. SMR did good for a minute. Now it kind of looks like crap, but can't win them all. I don't know. It's fun. The stock channel, weirdly, in the Discord is very lucrative. Lunar Entity said Ethereum is also attempting to scale the L1 specifically because the value proposition behind the token and the product is fading. L2's brought liquidity into that narrative. Now it's maturing. The utility cycle is probably next. Clarity Act should kickstart it. Not gonna lie. And I could be way wrong, and I might end up eating my words for this and looking like a complete moron, but nothing will ever prove me more moronic than investing heavily in this in the first place. But if we do go into a utility cycle, I'm going to say Cardano is going to be in a decent position for that. Maybe not. Who knows? Is my camera blurry? My camera's very blurry. Wow. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Midnight will probably do decent on that as well. I gotta buy more of this crap, I guess. I kind of hate it, but what are you gonna do? XRP is up 1.27%, proving to be a little more resilient than the rest of these coins in this little pullback going on here. XRP and Doge kind of leading the pack. It's pretty sick. Guys, if you are interested by any means in degenerate gambling, sign up for Kalshi with my referral link in the description. Deposit $25 and trade with at $25 or more, and we will both receive $25, or actually we both receive $25, just no more. We both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. It's a ton of fun, but it is degenerate gambling, so treat it as such. Do not play with more than you can afford to lose. Also, subscribe if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers before April, potentially May. We might move the goalpost a little bit, probably until that happens. So we'll see. We were trying to hit 2K before 2026. It was a tall order, so we scaled back and moved the goalpost a little bit. Every once in a while, you're allowed to change your entire thesis. Ben Cowan is a perfect example of that. Also, CoinMarketCap Fear and Greed is at 13, and the top 10 looks identical to what it looked like yesterday. I'm genuinely convinced Tether and probably Circle will flip Ethereum to Bitcoin, and it's going to be really funny because everyone's going to go, well, why would I buy Ethereum or Bitcoin then? Those went down, and this Tether coin didn't go down. So it's going to be kind of funny when that happens. Lunar Entity said, again, I think I stated this before, but I have never seen banks posture this aggressively since they went into major debt from 04 to 07 over digitizing double entry bookkeeping. So I guess I remember you talking about that. Is that bullish or bearish? Because I forget. Said said approximately 6 months from now we can celebrate Friendship Day. Special live stream all of us can have. Let's do it then. I'm going to actually set a reminder on my phone. We're going to celebrate Friendship Day. You said approximately 6 months. I'm going to go exactly 6 months. So 8, which is August? Right? No, it would be October, wouldn't it? February is the second month. Yeah, it would be October. October 14th. Add. We are going to do an event. Friendship Day. Friendship Day attempt. 12-hour live. Now, we might have to move that because that is on a Wednesday. I'm going to put on the Sunday prior. Friendship Day. Reminder. On Wednesday. Let's see if we can make that happen. First Sunday of August? Okay. Let's do the first Sunday of August then. That makes more sense. Let me move these around. Can I reschedule? We're going to just do it in October. I'll figure that out later. Lunar Entity said they want to utilize AI and blockchain together for the benefit of the financial sector, but I guarantee you the space will change permanently the day that it starts. Okay, so here's my thing. I've been seeing a lot of information floating around about AI, basically fudging statistics for like very important company data, and literally just making whole statistics up and stuff like that. Saeed said I will check and let you know. I appreciate that, Saeed. Yeah, feel free to remind me again tomorrow. I'm going to try to remember to change it on my calendar. After the stream, I'll take a picture too of the chat. But if not, remind me tomorrow and I'll get to it. Well, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of posts, people talking about AI fudging statistics for like meetings and stuff like that. And there's also apparently CPUs just don't know how to do math sometimes. Like it's like 1 in 10,000, but still. HQZ Sales said, "What up, JJ? Sweet looking strong. Everything's looking strong, man. Sweet is back above $1, which is exactly what we've been looking for. It's struggling to dance around at $1.02.3, but back above $1 is all I'm happy about. Look at this. You got, what are we looking for? We got a big fat pullback, rejection number 1, number 2, pullback, grabbing liquidity. Kind of, I'm going to call this filling the wick. We literally retested that same level as support, bounced off of that, another one, and then we continue to climb slowly, a little bit faster, and then boom, above $1. Now we're going to retest it. We might go below it and have to gather more liquidity and go back above it. We might bounce off of it immediately. We might linger on top of it and then go higher. There's a million different things that can play out. That linger might be necessary though with the RSI as high as it is, but because it's not overbought technically, we could still go a little bit higher maybe and then pull back. And then that pullback being dramatic, going from $1.05 all the way crashing down to 95 cents, could potentially set that RSI back at 0. And then you get back above $1 and you're barely at 50. So fast move, usually the false move. These moves have not been fast at all. They've been tremendously, atrociously slow. These moves were ridiculously fast, so those were false, which is why you retrace that and why you retrace that. So far, looks pretty good for Sweet. Lunar Entity said, "The only thing that has me hesitant on the current market environment is the 3-month MACD crossover on the volatility index." Wow. Volatility index. 3-month. Holy crap, I can actually do the 3-month. Wow. MACD. MACD. Not MACD strategy. Just give me moving average, convergence, and divergence. Bam. Okay. So let's do some correlation, causation, situation awareness here. We got blue crossing over orange. We don't want that. We want orange crossing over blue, which is this. We've got orange crossing over blue, which is technically this, right? That's more of a chop. I'm not going to count that one. That's very choppy sideways. Orange crossing over blue right here. Nope. No, actually no. It's really been above it this whole time. So blue's on top, dancing around. Orange got above blue. Orange is above, then it's below. Okay, so there's that crossover. That first crossover is right there. And then you have this beautiful spike. And then orange cross below blue again, technically right here. Yeah, let's do that one. Right here. Yeah, those are the only 2 times that it's really on this chart. You got green and green. Technically, yeah, it happened right here for a brief second, which is what this little blip is. But that's inconsequential, essentially. It is 3 months, so that's technically a whole year right there, but still. Saeed said, "The first Sunday in India internationally, it's the 30th of July. I just checked Perplexity." Okay. Let's do it. Take a picture of that. We'll do a 12-hour live stream on that day. I like it. So what does this mean? This means that volatility is going to spike. What do we got? April 2007, which is right before 2008. Whoopsie. And January 2018, which is right before 2019, which is the pandemic. It looks like they were able to suppress it for a little while and then pop. Wow. That's crazy. Interesting. Okay. Let's go back to the Bitcoin. This is what cracks me up. People are like, Bitcoin going to 0. It's a failed experiment and blah, blah, blah. And then you look, this thing don't go down, man. Like, don't be a goofball. It's embarrassing. Bitcoin's not going to 0. Let's be real. All right, let's get rid of this MACD. Get our Fu Manchu back in business. Fix the chart and get into the news segment. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, I appreciate you guys for joining me. Happy Saturday. Don't forget to participate in the poll in the chat. We got 13 votes. Let's end the poll. Let's do another poll. We're going to do a secondary poll. The first poll, we got 13 votes 57 minutes ago. I asked you guys, do you think that was the bottom? 31% of you guys said yes. Bottom is in. Let's freaking go. 31% of you guys said yes, but now we range. 23% of you guys said no, so much lower. And 15% of you guys said no, dead cat bounce right now. Very cool. Very crazy, actually. I really like my face in the webcam. Am I becoming vain? I think it's because of the background. Normally the black background, the lighting is bad. I can see my beautiful beard. It's Valentine's Day. I'm infatuated with myself. I'm sorry, that's a sin. Whatever. I'm gonna be fine. Start a poll. All right, next poll. Let's do this one. Does the Clarity Act pass before end of February? Yes. Bullish. No. More delays. Only with a yield ban. Bad for Coinbase. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Gosh, I'm blurry again. The sacrifices we make to have a cool background. I think I just need a better webcam. Please direct your attention to the poll in the chat. Does the Clarity Act pass before the end of February? Yes. Bullish? No. More delays? Or only with a yield ban? Bad for Coinbase? Find out now. Tom Selleck-Scout, Lunar Entity first said, we haven't closed the candle below the weekly 200 EMA. Now if we lose the 180 simple moving average, 300 simple moving average combo, I'll flip hard bearish in a heartbeat, especially if the new Fed regime is restrictive. Be careful with that word hard, Lunar Entity. It is Valentine's Day. Tom Selleck-Scout said, 3-day weekend, let's go. Lunar Entity said, but we actually bounced at the 180 simple moving average this time. We fell straight through everything in 2022. Ooh, very nice. Cheers, guys. Again, happy Saturday. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Live from the command center in the basement of the Burj Khalifa. HQZ said, F you guys, I'm bullish. I am also bullish, my friend. I actually had to have my fiance restrain me today because I woke up and I saw everything up a little bit and I was like, screw it. And I just started buying, dude. Oh my gosh. And I said something out loud. I was like, boop, 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 boop. And I was like, somebody stop me. And I told my fiance, I was like, you have to make me not buy any more crypto today. And she was like, stop it. So I got my failsafe is now active. Lunar Entity said, I am bullish, but I stay paranoid. Paranoia is a gift. I actually remember, this is a good story, a little story time here. My best friend, Chris, always got in trouble with the law. Always. He was always in jail. We used to smoke marijuana, which at the time was allegedly illegal. Allegedly. This is all alleged. It's all parody. And he always called me paranoid because whenever we'd go to drive anywhere or anything, I'd be like, you're not allowed to bring anything in my car. And he'd be like, what? Like, you're not allowed to bring anything in my car. Nothing. I don't want any substances in my car at all whatsoever. And he's like, you're so paranoid, dude. You're such a wuss. And guess who went to jail all the time and who didn't? Never been to jail. I'm very proud of that. And I have had my car searched several times because he was in the damn car with me. Every time we got pulled over, they're like, you have anything illegal in the vehicle? I'm like, no, ma'am. Because I was a female officer as well. Do you mind if I search? I'm like, nope, not at all. They search my car. They tear that shit apart, dude. And then they didn't find anything every single time. And they ended up liking me. The police liked me. Lunar Entity said, when I was starting out, I received advice from much older gentlemen that lost far more than I ever will. A good investor lives in fear. My favorite quote so far is the stupid, silly little quote from, J.L. Collins, from his lovely book, The Simple Path to Wealth. If you guys are interested, there is an affiliate link in the description to buy a hardcover. But if you're an audio person like me, it is literally free on Audible. If you have Amazon Prime, just pick that as your free book. The gist of it, though, the TLDR, the 3 main points, The Simple Path to Wealth: avoid debt, live on less than what you earn, and invest the surplus. The average return of the S&P 500, I think, is around 11% annually. And you can become a millionaire just within a quarter of a decade with that if you put $100 in a week. It's not that hard. It's not sexy. Everyone wants to trade in like the movie Limitless. They want to be like a day trader, and they're like, oh my God, I made so much money flipping around the market today and screwing over all the bearish and bullish people. But that's how most people actually lose their money. And then the guy that's holding is the one who basically makes the money that you're essentially donating to the market maker. Lunar Entity said, also Baruch's quote on investing from the 1920s, only a liar buys the bottom and sells the top, take a chunk out of the middle. I like it. I like it. DCA, man. DCA is the way. Don't invest. One of my favorite things that I always say is don't force trades. If you're a trader, do not force a trade. A lot of times I would be sitting there and I'd be like, man, the market's not moving. What do I do? And then I'd be like, I'm just going to long this. And I'd open a long, and then it went, and then I'd lose it. And that happened so many times. And I finally sat there. I was like, why am I, like, there's no trade to be had. So why am I in a trade? I don't need to be in a trade at all times. That is a gambling addiction. But I finally stepped back and I was like, okay, I need to just sometimes not be in a trade. That's okay to not be in a trade sometimes. It's going to be okay. Which is where the spot bags come in, and why when I was trading, it was like 1% of my overall investment. The other 99% was in my hold bags. All right, new segment. This one's huge, potentially. This may be a conflict of interest. We've got Nancy Pelosi stock tracker posting. Representative Byron Donalds just filed a purchase of Bitcoin. This is his second purchase within a month, bringing his total investments in Bitcoin to $115,000. Donald sits on the House Subcommittee on Digital Assets. We'll be following to see where this goes. Honestly, kind of seems like he's just DCAing. He's not putting his entire life savings into it, but we'll see what happens. It's got potential for sure, especially that being yesterday, and yesterday being the day before today. In the news today that I haven't told you guys technically yet, which we're going to come up to eventually, is very exciting. 88 Metals Mania said, used to swap my tokens around, then realized just leaving them along made me more profit. Dude, I've looked at my old holdings before. I used to write everything down, and I looked at it and I was like, wow, I have this much of that. And I did the math and I'm like, damn, I should have kept that. So now I've almost created a mantra. I'm never going to fully exit a position. I will always have a little moon bag, even if it's like 1% of what I started with. I will always have a moon bag. Fully exiting a position sounds insane to me. And 2, patience. Just be patient. I can dollar cost average. I can maybe pivot around and stuff strategically, but I cannot just frivolously throw money at everything. I want to be strategic with my money, and the bags that I build have to be for longer term reasons. Not like, oh, I hope that this moons tomorrow for this deal that they supposedly have in the works, and then I can sell this and put it into that asset. That's a trader mentality. I'm not trying to be a trader. Maybe when the market starts to get a little more volatile, I might start trading again. It is a lot of fun. But for now, I'm just a dollar cost averaging, boring, crypto YouTuber, I guess. Still weird referring to myself as that, but here we are. Bitcoin Magazine posted, every Bitcoin cycle, the downside compresses. Minus 87% in, 2015. Minus 84% in 2018. Minus 77% in 2022. And minus 45% in 2026. That is so far. If we go by this metric, 87 to 84 is 3. 84 to 77 is 7, actually. So maybe 77 to, let's do 10 just to be less than 14. That would be 67. So we need to go down another 22%. Not financial advice. It's potential. What is 67% from the top if we are going to play with that concept? Let's just see, just for shits and gigs. Is that 67? Pico top. Let's go right here. 67. 67 is 41K. That'd be crazy. 69% pullback from all-time high candle body close on the weekly is 38,175. Pretty crazy stuff. Honestly, with everyone expecting lower, potentially including myself, it would be really funny if Bitcoin just exploded to the upside. That would be so funny. 88 Metals Mania said he's a good politician too. Lunar Entity said I've cut everything that doesn't offer utility. I would own Bitcoin, but I have gold already, so I opted for Ethereum instead. I like it. The utility thing, I guess, can be subjective. It depends on what utility means to you. I like builders, like projects that have maybe revenue as well. If they have revenue, that's a huge plus. Like they're actually bringing in money, like a profitable business. That's a big selling point for me. Okay. Skyodelic posted, there will be, or no, I'm sorry, this is a good one. I'm gonna read this whole thing. There will never be another alt season. It's all you hear everywhere. Alts have never been declared more dead than they are today. And yet, while that is happening, a 100% hit rate signal for alt season has just flashed. This is predicted 6 out of 6 alt seasons, and it's happening right now. Just as everyone thinks they're done and has bought metals, it will never change. Every single time the 3-week MACD has flipped bullish, it has sparked an alt season. And for at least 6 months. Call me delusional, retard, whatever. This is just what the chart says, and I tend to listen to those over brain dead reply guys. We've got 1 big spike, 2 big spike, 3 big spike, 4 big spike, actually double big spike, 5 big spike, 6. That is actually very, very compelling. There was an attempted cross right there, so I guess we need to confirm this a little more before I get a little too excited. This is on the 3 weeks, so we got 3 weeks to close this candle and then produce meaningful continuation of that, but I do like the idea. Lunar Entity said 67% is nearly the exact point ETFs bought in. Interesting, okay. Utility for me is strictly financials and interoperability, mainly positioning for institutional reshaping of the space. I hope for the best on the indie side of the scene, though. Oh, of course. I mean, I want everyone to succeed. I always found it funny when people were like, oh, look at this coin's doing bad. Like, why? You know, have you ever met a person and then like, yeah, I just had to file bankruptcy, I lost my house, and then you go, ha ha ha, you fucking loser. Like, nobody does that. That's the craziest mentality to have. And that is why those people are always miserable and bad at investing. Because they think with like some weird competitive mentality. We're supposed to want everyone to succeed, man. We're all brothers and sisters. We can all succeed. Maybe not on Valentine's Day. We should not all be brothers and sisters on Valentine's Day. Okay. Total put call ratio jumped to the highest reading since the Liberation Day crash. S&P 500 total put call ratio. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty crazy. Gosh, that's such a huge dump. That was April 2025. Yeah, that was Liberation Day. Wow. It's so interesting to watch this consolidate. Like, it rises so beautifully and quickly and elegantly out of the dumps, and then it goes, it kind of lingers, and then it takes a big poop again. I wonder if there's ever been an instance of it climbing out of this very dramatically again without it having to pull back. This one's very exciting. Breaking. And now I tend to take these with a grain of salt because a lot of times these are like some weird psyop to convince you to go long or whatever. A trader linked to Trump, known for a perfect track record, has opened a $190 million long position ahead of today's major announcement. After 4 months of inactivity, he has returned and once again committed with full conviction. And literally, as that gets announced, do I even have the damn article here? Hang on. I'm tweaking out. Hang on. I posted it in the Discord. It is right here. Let me grab the link, copy link, and bam. President Trump just made the most important announcement of 2026. U.S. crypto market bill is ready and will pass soon. So Trump and Besant, I hope that gets done. So it hasn't been done, but they're talking about it like it's done. There's rumors floating around that it's already pre-decided, and this is all just conjecture and, you know, political theater, which we've theorized with the tinfoil hat. And I wouldn't be surprised at this point. You know, we've seen crazier things. We've seen so much more crazier things. Lunar Energy said the ticker in TradingView is PCE if you wanted to take a look at the put-call ratio. Okay. Put-call ratio, equities. So what does this do for me? See, we got a big fat red candle come out of that, so it immediately got slapped right back down. Yeah, I'm not really convinced. Like, it's going up a little bit. Big whoop. I guess, yeah, it is starting to curl. You know, little spike here. Little spiky poos. Little spike. I like to get the broader picture. I don't know. I guess, yeah, hold on. I'm a little more biased with that. Hang on. Let me try and draw the middle of each one. And this last one. Bam. It still kind of seems like it's really going down. I don't know. Green in short positions, red as long positions. Okay. So when it flips like that, there's longs. What's the gap? Is that just longs overtaking the shorts? Or did yesterday, there was just so many shorts yesterday, and there's a little bit of longs today. It's more longs than shorts, but yesterday it was more shorts than longs by this significant margin, right? So technically this gap does not mean that all of those positions closed. Is that correct, or am I making that up? I don't know. I'd like somebody to explain it to me. It's interesting though. A lot of good charts, man. There's so many good charts. So I'm getting to the point, unfortunately, and I'm wondering if you guys all work for Big TradingView. And you guys are getting me all interested in all of these alternative charts, and I'm like, maybe I should pay for TradingView. Because you guys are like, oh, look at all of this extra data that you could have in your watch list, but you don't because you don't have TradingView Premium. And I'm like, dang, what if I did have TradingView Premium and I had all of this extra crap in there? You guys are making me think about it. I'm on to you. This PSYOP will not work, for I am poor, and I choose to identify as poor, and I will continue to do so. Lunar Energy said yesterday had an immense number of shorts. Yes, that FBG is not a good look intraday, but it can fail. Okay. All right. Always got the best charts. Appreciate you, my friend. Bitcoin still lingering. Most alts are quiet. XRP obviously green. We talked about that earlier. Very nice. Stellar up 1.03%. Very nice. Doge is up 2%. Turning heads. I can't believe MicroStrategy's up 8.85% on Friday. That's kind of crazy. It's because I stopped there. It's because I stopped there. I left a message for Sailor explaining how to make money, how to make the price go up. I said, don't buy OTC. Buy on an exchange so the price moves. I don't know. They must have given him the message the next day. Okay, Bitcoin reclaimed 70K. It is now back below 69,548. We know that these are famous for being wrong several hours later. We are in one of those choppy sideways zones, though, so no big deal. $4 trillion JP Morgan says a weaker US dollar will not affect the stock market. I actually think that they said it's good for the stock market even. Bitcoin price on Valentine's Day. This is cool. Are you ready? 2011, it was $1. 2012, it was $5. 2013, it was $25. 2014, $655. Wow, what a big gap. 2015, $235. 2016, $405. 2017, $1,005. 2018, $9,500. 2019, $3,600. 2020, $10,300. 2021, $48,700. 2022, $42,600. 2023, $22,200. 2024, $51,800. 2025, $97,500. And 2026, $69,000. I'm going to say 690 because I can. Lunar Energy said, oh, hold on. HQZ said, remember when people thought Doge would go to $1? Oh, yeah. I mean, it's not impossible. It just definitely was overhyped. Lunar Entity said, PCE is usually a really slick way to catch the generational bottom, line it up with the VIX and the credit spread chart. Yes, the Plaza Accord happened in 1985. Chart the market from then until now. You'll have to walk me through that if you want me to actually do that. Stablecoin mint 2 minutes ago. This was 5 hours ago. Another 250 million USDC issued on Solana. Chain comparison report. Solana 69%, Ethereum 31% of large stablecoin transactions. Kobe SE letter. Big tech bond issuance is flooding the market. The technology sector represents 11.8% of all private sector debt issuance so far in 2026. The highest on record in data going back to 1999. This triples the percentage seen in 2023 and is 4.6 percentage points above the previous high in 2020. This comes as big tech firms rush to raise massive capital to fund AI infrastructure. The most recent bond sales include Alphabet, Google, which issued nearly $33 billion across 3 markets this week. In addition, the company issued an extremely rare corporate bond that matures 100 years from now. This is the first 100-year bond issued by a tech company since Motorola in 1997. The tech debt frenzy is heating up. What happens? Here's my question. Motorola issues that 100-year bond. It's 2035, let's say, and Motorola files bankruptcy. They close their doors, they crumble, they dissolve into nothing. They go full Radio Shack. Is the person that bought that entitled to any compensation whatsoever? Or is that bond basically void if the underlying company goes belly up? Also, what does the return look like on one of those? 100 years is freaking insane. I don't understand. Like, do you buy that as like a country? It seems so silly. For 100 years? Most people don't even live that long, man. You're buying that for like your grandchildren. What the hell? Your kids are going to be like 65, 70 years old. That's crazy. Lunar Entity said the Plaza Accord was a joint operation by multiple nations to weaken the dollar and encourage global investment into dollar-denominated assets. Interesting. I'm curious as to whether or not, because Besant is very, very world famous for collapsing currencies for a strategic reason. I'm curious of, like, they gotta have a big plan, dude. If they don't, I'm going to be very underwhelmed. But I'm very curious to see how this all turns out. For some reason, the existentialism is like churning up with the conspiracy brain and the desire for, like, I don't know, like anarchy and global change. Who knows? But for some reason, I keep thinking to myself, I'm like, there's got to be some like big plan. There's got to be some big plan where they're like, we're gonna nail these things. Shit's gonna get done, and it's gonna be really good and really successful, and everyone's gonna be like, yay! Celebrating like post World War II when everything's said and done. But I'm not seeing it yet. We're already a year into it. I don't know. 88 Metals Mania said, LOL. Lunar Entity said, on the DXY, you can see 1985 and exactly why intervention was necessary. It's the kind of event that would make crypto kids today wet their pants. Besant worked extensively with Soros. Would not surprise me. I think I knew that. Interesting stuff, though. Let's continue news segment. The number of Americans working 2 full-time jobs has never been higher. The number of multiple job holders working primary and secondary full-time jobs is up to 476,000, second highest on record. This is only below the all-time high of 488,000 seen in December 2025. The number of Americans working 2 full-time jobs has doubled since 2020. By comparison, the high at the peak of the dot-com bubble was 416,000 in July 2000. Meanwhile, the number of all multiple job holders stands at 8.77 million, near the highest on record and 700,000 above the 2008 peak. Many Americans are struggling to afford basic necessities. That is crazy. This, I guess it's not like terrifying to me, but the idea of having to work 2 jobs sounds so awful. Like, I've diversified my income with side gigs to some success, but not enough to like consider that a second full-time job at all. I genuinely cannot imagine having to do that. That's awful. That sounds so bad. I will say I'm very I don't know if blessed is the right word. I'm grateful that my fiance is able to stay at home and essentially be a teacher to our 15-year-old daughter. We've been homeschooling since she was probably like 4 years old. So I don't know. It's definitely a luxury for sure. Breaking a record 16.4% of student loans transitioned into 30-plus days delinquency in Q4 2025. This exceeds the 2013 peak by 4.8 percentage points. Furthermore, a record 16.2% of student loans transitioned into serious 90-plus days delinquency. This percentage has more than doubled since Q1 2025. As a result, 9.6% of student loans are now seriously delinquent, the second highest since Q1 2020. Delinquencies have surged since Q4 2024 after the student loan relief period ended and missed payments began showing up on credit reports. Student loan stress is at critical levels. It's going to be really funny when nobody pays any of that and they can't collect the cash. Lunar Entity said, the destabilization of globalism has been hugely successful in the last 2 years. Reshoring of manufacturing signals a return to nationalist ideologies. Powell bailed out the corporations in 2020. Now the common man is yoked with the consequences. Saeed said, "Where is the mother of your daughter? She is in the living room." She's in the living room right now. Chilling out. Valentine's Day. I'm probably gonna go for a drive later, just for fun. It's been a while since we've gone for a car ride. Maybe do some randonauting. A little fun, spooky time on Valentine's Day. Why not? All right. Breaking, the U.S. Treasury budget deficit fell 26% year over year in January to $95 billion over the first 4 months of fiscal year 2026. The deficit is down 17% year over year to $697 billion, still posting the third worst start to a year in history. Government revenue rose 12% plus 12% year over year to $1.8 trillion, lifted by tariff revenues, which surged 304% year over year to $124 billion for the period. At the same time, government expenditures increased 2% year over year to $2.5 trillion. Tariff revenues are making a dent in the U.S. deficit. That is actually badass. Very excited for that. Obviously, we joke about wanting our bags to pump and stuff like that, but at the end of the day, if this choppy sideways, even downside, is what it takes for like the United States to benefit tremendously as a country, as far as like the debt goes and taxes and people, I'm all for it. Look at Doge, dude. Doge is up 3.19%. The projects that like randomly show strength like this, you want to keep on your radar. Maybe not indefinitely, but clearly there's some reason people are buying these right now. They're loading up. Doge is the people's meme coin. It is a household name still to this day. So I would be surprised if this did not do well in a proper alt season bull market scenario. DXY still struggling. This one's the most interesting to me because I don't know what the hell's going on with this. Lunar Entity said, "I'm still curious to see which event makes the VIX pop." What events do we have coming up? We got geopolitical tensions with Iran. Let's actually ask Grok that, because there's DHS, what is it called? Department of Homeland Security. Their government shutdown going on right now. What global events, and specifically United States events, events or situations are upcoming, anticipated, that may affect financial markets for the next 12 months. Let's see what Grok says. Bitcoin still chilling, 69,536 and 47 cents. Continuing the news segment, tariffs doing good, number go up. China is stuck in the longest deflationary streak in decades. China's GDP deflator fell 0.7% in Q4 2025, marking the 11th consecutive quarterly decline, the longest streak in at least 30 years. China has been in deflation for 3 consecutive years now, the longest stretch since the country transitioned to a market economy in the late 1970s. By comparison, the streak lasted just 2 quarters following the 2008 financial crisis. Most recently, producer prices fell 1.4% year over year in January, marking the 40th consecutive month of factory deflation. This comes as weak consumer demand driven by a property market crisis continues to drag prices lower. Furthermore, Chinese factories are producing far more than consumers can buy, forcing companies to slash prices just to survive. China's deflationary spiral is showing no signs of improvement. That has to be spooky. If you were like the president or someone high up in that country and that was happening, I would be scared. Cointelegraph posted, according to CoinGlass data, 90,322 traders were liquidated in the past 24 hours, totaling 265.25 million in liquidations. That's a lot of money. Update. The last 30 days wiped out $910 billion from the crypto market, so just $90 billion short of $1 trillion. That's a lot. That's so much money. That's crazy. Moon Entity, welcome to Cornerville. Thank you very much, my friend. Appreciate you. SpaceX is reportedly eyeing a dual-class share structure for its IPO, potentially valuing the company above $1.5 trillion while preserving Musk's control. Interesting. I do like... This is a very pretty logo. Insight at Consensus Hong Kong. Grayscale's Clo said Zcash proves privacy and compliance can coexist. That's actually what Midnight's going for, which is interesting. Update. Bitcoin's price hasn't been this low since November of 2024. Bitcoin 68,885.73. It's funny that the period in the comma switched around in different countries. Let's see. Yeah, that is pretty crazy to think about. Let's go check CoinMarketCap really quick. Jay Shear said, "Sup family?" What's going on, Jay Shear? Happy Saturday, my friend. Happy Valentine's Day. Cheers. Appreciate you for joining us. Don't forget to smash the like button and vote in the poll. Don't we have a poll going? Yes, we do. Okay. Fear and Greed is at 13. Alt Season Index at 36. Okay. The alternative.me crypto fear and greed, or Bitcoin, I'm sorry, Bitcoin fear and greed index is at an 8. Yesterday it was at a 9. Last week was 7. This month was neutral. So on the 12th, 2 days ago, we had the lowest reading in history ever of 5. We've never, ever, ever seen it at a 5. We've seen it at a 6 in, like, it looks like August 2019. We've never actually seen it at a 5 before. So it's pretty crazy to actually witness that. And it does look like the downtrend is going to continue. So we'll see what comes of this. Okay. This one's very interesting. Cointelegraph posted, latest Russia's central bank considers researching and creating its own Russian stablecoins. That's very, very interesting. What's cool about stablecoins is they're a lot they're so much cheaper to print. Like, you don't actually need paper or anything physical. You can just press a button and then double the supply, which I imagine is a lot less logistically challenging than doubling the supply like they did. Or what did they do? Like quadruple the supply, the money supply during the pandemic? It would have been a lot easier to just press a button, which I'm sure they did. I'm sure they created digital of it. If you guys haven't already, there's a series, an old documentary series. The original one is about religion. It's called Zeitgeist. It's entertaining, eye-opening for some. If you're into that, recommend it. Mildly recommend it. It's a little heavy. But the second one, the sequel, I believe, is about the monetary system. And I remember watching this back in probably like 2013. And it might have even been before then. It might have been like 2010. I don't remember when it came out. But I watched it and I went into like a state of existential crisis. I was like, the money isn't real. And I remember freaking out about that for like 3 months. And then finally, after 3 months, I was like, who cares? Because really, who cares? Like, that's crazy that money's not real. But if you're not going to do anything about it, like buy Bitcoin, because I didn't, because I was an idiot back then shut up. You know, just go to work. Who cares? You're working for fake money to buy real food and shelter. So why do you care? It's not like it's going to collapse tomorrow. So that was kind of fun, but it opened my eyes to the monetary system way back then, and the digitization of money, and how, like, at the time, 10% of money was physical, the other 90% was digital. So now I can't even imagine, especially with all these liquidity restraints and stuff like that. Who knows how much money is actually out there? Kind of blows my mind to even tell people. I feel like we could avoid this entire inflation conversation if cash was just like a privacy coin and nobody knew how much existed. Big strategy currently holds 3.4% of the entire crypto supply. I don't know if that is 3.4% of the entire crypto supply or just 3.4% of Bitcoin, but I thought that was kind of a funny little metric. Lunar Entity said, yes, fake money has been a thing since ancient civilizations. Debt is money. Derivatives should be required material in public schools. Oh, 100%. I'm very proud that my daughter is at least getting some exposure to finances through me. Cooling CPI and whale accumulation push Bitcoin towards 70K, but the bottom remains unconfirmed per sentiment. Poly market users, this was 17 hours ago, are flooding into wagering on the outcome of the Oscars with over 15 million wagered on just one category. Telling you guys, it's a lot of fun. As I said earlier, if you guys want to be degenerate gamblers, highly recommend checking out Kalshi. Not financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It is a gambling service, essentially, so treat it as such. But if you decide you want to do it as an adult human being, and you sign up for my referral link in the description and trade with $25 or more, we will both receive $25 in non-withdrawable site credit. It's a lot of fun, but it is gambling, so treat it as such. Also, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Appreciate you guys for being here. If you guys want to find other ways to support the channel, there are plenty of links in the description. Update. Bitcoin dominance is only down 6% since its last high. Let's actually do a broader update on dominance because it's been a while. Bitcoin dominance on the daily, we're at 58.69%. We have officially, maybe potentially concretely broken below 59%. We've seen this pattern plenty of times on crypto in general, maybe not on dominance, which is interesting. But I am quite a fan of this pattern right here. We get a big spike and then a huge dip, a little minor like recovery chop attempt, and an eventual, hopefully, peter out and crumble down. Now, where have we seen this before? Literally right here. We got this double top scenario, and then it crashes a little bit, and then bam, it recovers one last time, and then it rejects. Are we going to see something similar over here? You know, wherever you want to put it. Are we doing this right now? That would be pretty crazy. And if that was the case, I assume this was, what was this? We got August of 2019 peak to January of 2021. August of 2019. Right there to January of 2021. Okay, so that's just from the 2018 bull market to the 2021 bull market. So we got bull market number 1, bull market number 2. Interesting. So that's 2 whole. So yeah, we are actually potentially, that's very good news, going into a possible dominance collapse scenario where alts have the potential or the option to do fun things. Obviously, this was less eventful than this. This would be preferred for sure. But beggars can't be choosers. So the macro update for dominance is to potentially look for a break below 57.68. A definitive break below 57.68. What's interesting about this little hand-drawn situation is that bottom right there aligns with my whatever this is. That's November 2025. Clearly that was wrong. I was looking for, what does that even say? Bitcoin dominance goes down and alt season super cycle begins on this day. That was wrong. That was incorrect. So maybe we'll see if we eventually nail something on here, because our fractal, or our fractal, not our fractal, our actual chart has extended well into obviously 2026. So I don't know. I don't know. Dominance is the one anomaly that I will fully acknowledge. I really have no idea what to look for there. For like signals into the future of what dominance is going to do. Okay. Lunar Entity said the derivatives market was estimated to be around $4 quadrillion in 2022. Wow. Bitcoin dominance, ETH dominance paints an interesting picture on Bitcoin's continued performance over Ethereum. Oops. Gosh, that's embarrassing. Get out of here. Okay. This right here just reminded me, I had an idea for like a little shorts series. I was going to call it Crypto Market Crap instead of Crypto Market Cap. Okay, Lunar Entity said, paints an interesting picture on Bitcoin's continued performance over Ethereum. So Bitcoin dominance over ETH dominance. So when this goes up, Bitcoin is doing better than ETH. So, yeah, it is very much like right here. This is what I'm seeing. I'm actually I'm gonna pull a fractal right here and watch this. Go right at the Pico top right there. Got a pink fractal. Oh my gosh, look at that. You kidding me? TradingView has a strange paywall on lower time frames for certain cross-reference charts. I get it. I get it. You know, they gotta make their money. It's bear market after all. Interesting. So let's actually go double check, because this RSI was overbought right here on February 3rd. So we pulled that from right, that peak is right here. Overbought. Look at that. That's pretty dang crazy. I bet you this is how it's going to play out. I'm going to leave this on here. We're going to make it blue. That's crazy. That's a good fractal, man. Let's see what happens. Okay, back to Bitcoin. Oh, goodness. Bitcoin currently trading at $69,551. Very nice, super chill. News segment continuation. ARK Invest just added another 93,000 shares of Coinbase. That's probably not a bad idea, to be honest. A whale just opened a $93 million long with 20x leverage. 20x seems so out of, like, why? You can lower your leverage and increase your chances of not getting completely decimated. Wrecked $147 million in shorts was wiped out in under 24 hours. That's nothing. Have they not seen what have happened to longs recently? Update, over $4 billion in shorts will be liquidated if Bitcoin can climb 10%. That was 7 hours ago. Here we go. MSB Intel. I'm going to actually follow them if I'm not already. Oh, I am. Okay, good. Huge. China is executing a historic pivot from U.S. debt to gold. Paper is out. Hard assets are in. China has slashed Treasury holdings to a 23-year low, dumping $627 billion and erasing a decade of accumulation. Where is the money going? Straight into the vault. 15 consecutive months of gold buying, record holdings of 2,308 tons. The silent exit from the dollar system is getting loud. And I do believe that this is just what they report, and it is very widely estimated, I guess, that they just don't report all of their accumulation, which is smart if we're being real. I feel like it's stupid to tell everyone, this is how much money I have, and here's where I put it. And there's a lot of security, but if you really wanted to, you could probably steal it all. Please don't. That's, a great way to probably get robbed. Insight, JP Morgan and Chase and Co. says a weaker dollar is fuel for stocks, not a threat. This is what I was talking about earlier. Whatever we read says weaker dollar is not a threat to the stock market. And they actually said it's fuel for stocks, not a threat. So I agree with them. Insight, Vitalik Buterin says the prediction markets should pivot from speculation to hedging and replace fiat with personalized risk protection. Interesting. Okay. I don't know what the hell that means. This cracked me up. When you see that friend who told you to buy silver at $120 and you told him to buy Bitcoin at $126,000. Oh man, I don't think my daughter's ever seen Zoolander. We gotta show her that. It's such a good movie. What is this? A reading center for ants? Oh, it's so good. So good. Owen Wilson is up there too. He's definitely one of the GOATs. George at CryptoZaurus posted, crypto ETFs just flipped back to green after a stretch of heavy outflows. Bitcoin and Ether, I don't know who calls it that. That's not even what it's called. What does that mean? What does what mean? Oh, Lunar Entity said, I'd look at 1985 in the DXY and add SPX as a pane below it to get an idea of what the new Plaza Accord would do. Okay. After a stretch of heavy outflows, Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs snapped back with net inflows Friday. Nothing explosive, but broad. Bitcoin spot ETFs pulled in about $15 million, led by Fidelity's FBTC. Even with a $9 million inflow from BlackRock's IBIT, the complex still closed positive. Total Bitcoin ETF assets sit around 87 billion, with 3.7 billion in daily trading volume. Ethereum followed with roughly 10 million in inflows, led by Grayscale's Mini Trust. XRP added 4.5 million with zero outflows. Solana ETFs also closed green. Zero outflows seems crazy to me. Oh, what Vitalik said? I'm not entirely sure. It sounds like, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like he's implying some semblance of what I would equate to a social credit system where, like, you have your own, I don't know, prediction. I don't know. Let's ask Grok what the hell he means. Because I'm curious as well. Can I open 2 Grok panes? I can. Ooh, okay. What exactly does this mean? Can you explain it to me? Let's see. It just sounds like a social credit system to me, which is very communist of him. I'm just saying. Okay. ETF flows are the cleanest read on institutional positioning when price chops and sentiment is fragile. Even modest inflows signal that long-only capital is stepping back in instead of capitulating. The volatility has largely been driven by leverage and derivatives. Regulated ETF capital is starting to stabilize. Very cool. We're almost done with the news segment, and then we'll take a look at that the Plaza Accord stuff, Lunar Entity. What's going on, G Immortal? Happy Friday, or I'm sorry. Unfortunately, it is no longer Friday. Happy Saturday. And happy Valentine's Day. I love you. Cheers. Okay. Gosh, that's good. Gets better with every sip. Van Eck says 13 countries are actively mining Bitcoin. Game theory is in action. Once one country starts mining, others need to follow or risk falling behind. The next phase is when countries start printing money to buy Bitcoin before their competitors do. That is going to be weird when that happens. Because, like, your dollar deflates, but they just print it into oblivion. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. That seems like a disaster waiting to happen. Like, how to crash your dollar value in, like, one day. Meme coins are significantly outperforming during today's recovery bounce by altcoins. Are you trading these? We've got meme coins, AI, DeFi, gaming, L2, and L1. I don't know why there's two purples. It looks like meme coins and AI are outperforming, and then DeFi and gaming. Really? Gaming? That's weird. I will say, though, it goes the opposite direction as well. When we get a dump, meme coins outperform significantly to the downside as well, so exercise caution. Buy altcoins now. They will 50 to 100x on average. Be ready. This is from Whale Crypto Gems. I just like looking at these. He's looking at a potential 8,000% gain. So much for diminishing returns, but I'll take it. And then we've got same pattern in 2021 predicted the start of a massive altcoins. History repeats itself. Altcoins season 3 loading. Be patient. Is this like AI or is there a language barrier? This is market cap Bitcoin dominance taking a big fat dump arena. We're waiting patiently for this to happen. And then last but not least, we got bar chart saying TLT has had its best week in 12 months. That is the 20+ year Treasury Bond iShares ETF. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Let's go see if there's anything new from bar chart. Nope. Oh, yeah, hang on. Michael Burry starting to get upset. Somebody named Amit is investing. Posted PLTR, had a few days to read through everything Burry has put out on Palantir. First, I agree with blah, 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 and then we don't know what the rest of it says. He says, this is so funny. I have read the report. Really, I did. Now let me show you that I did not read the report with my meaningless rant. And then my favorite thing in the world is the fact that Michael Burry is insisting that, like, the global economy is going to just implode, but he's also long GameStop and short Palantir. I'm not sure where he gets. Like, I don't want to be a dick, but he is a one-trick pony, unfortunately. He's one-hit wonder. I got respect for the guy. He made way more money than I'll probably ever see in my entire lifetime. But damn, bro. Just, like, sell a course or something at this point. And Silver's 9-month winning streak, its longest winning streak in history, is on track to end this month. Dang. That's a spooky candle, too. Big reversal on that $120 one. All right, that's it, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go take a look. We want to pull up DXY. DXY and SPX. So we're going to go, let's go like daily, I suppose. No, we're going to go to 85. So let's go to weekly. Can we go to 1985 in the weekly? Yes, we can. Okay, sweet. Weekly looks like the one. And then we are going to add SPX. Nope, I did the wrong thing. How do I get rid of that? Okay. Hang on, I'm so sorry. SPX. I can't type either. Okay. New pane. Right? Yeah, okay. 85, 85, 85, 85. You said 85? Yeah, 1985. So there's, okay, it's actually right there. That ginormous peak, the dollar collapsed So is this what Warsh is talking about? 1985. And then let's get this guy up higher. I'm gonna get rid of Fu Manchu just so we can see it bigger. Wow. I don't even know how do I measure this? Just go from right here. Let's say about a couple years later. S&P's up 3,000% since then. Wow. That's crazy. So just the foreseeable future, what have I done? Oh, there's a button right there. Whoa, that's cool. I didn't know I could do that. What? Okay, so just for the foreseeable future. This thing, I'm assuming. Do we have an exact date? Plaza Accord, let's just go with the peak of the DXY. I'm sure that's exactly what it is. Short term, from February 85 to 2 years later, almost 3 years later, we'll call it August 87, 77% gains on the S&P. Whew, that's crazy. Saeed said, on behalf of one and all over here, we love our favorite channel, JJ Cryptic Corner. With so much of up-to-date information, entertainment, especially your sense of humor. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, Saeed. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. You always say nice things to me. Cheers, my friend. Cheers. Thank you. Thank you very much. 77% on the S&P 500. That's pretty epic. I'm not going to lie. Pretty epic. And that was 917 days. Wow, that's almost 3 full years. I'll take it, man. That would be sick. That would be insane if that happened. Are you kidding me? Okay. Very nice. I do like that I can compare stuff on here. That's really nice. All right. We got our Fu Manchu back. Back to our 4-hour time frame. All the way back to the beginning, and let's go back to the Bitcoin. Oh, XRP gave back some of its gains. Interesting. Are we losing a little bit of touch? Let me put that back. Whoops. Let's see. XRP's up 0.59 now. Okay, it's just quiet. It's a little wick. No big deal. About Doge. Up 2.67 still. Stellar. Where's Stellar? Right there. Gave back some of its gains as well. Interesting. Okay. Let's see where we end up going. Is Bitcoin ever going to get back above 70K and hold it is the question. Does look like a little baby flag. If I was trying to sell you this bull crap, I would say it's a baby flag right now. Looking to establish itself in the new world. Okay, we got done with our news segment. Let's see what Grok said. My first question, I said, what global events and specifically United States events, situations are upcoming, anticipated, that may affect financial markets for the next 12 months? We've got diverging central bank paths with limited Fed cuts expected after 2025 easing, fiscal pressures from expanding U.S. deficits, trade tariff policies, risk of volatility from elections and conflicts. Outlooks for major institutions highlight themes like AI-driven growth, energy transitions, sticky inflation, and 35% recession probability, with generally bullish equity forecasts of if easing continues, without major disruptions, geoeconomic confrontation and interstate conflicts rank as top global risks. Okay. United States. Oh, this is good. Good insight, man. This is actually, I've never even thought to ask Grok this. This is maybe the most useful information that we've ever been given by Grok. Federal Reserve, FOMC meetings and rate decisions. They got all of the scheduled stuff, potential market impact high for the March one. Possible first cut signal, moderate for April, June high economic projections released, moderate for July, September high, October moderate to high, December high 2027 guidance, year-end wrap. Regular economic releases, CPI, non-farm payrolls, GDP will accompany these amplifying moves. 2026 midterm elections, we know this, November 3rd, 2026, so leading into November, which is the 11th month of the year, We're in number 2 right now. I suspect around 5 or 6, it's going to get really like in preparation for midterms. They're going to really start churning out the butter. They're going to get out the lube to satisfy you by your vote. Hopefully that lube comes with a checkbook. That's what I'm looking for. Buy my vote, please. Fiscal and debt ceiling risks. The U.S. hit a debt limit in early 2025 using extraordinary measures. New deadlines or negotiations could merge by mid to late 2026, risking market disruptions similar to past crisis. That's a hard word. Deficits are forecast to drive public debt above World War II records. Wow, 120% of GDP by mid-2030s, with higher interest rate costs pressuring bonds and equities. Policy implementation, ongoing tariff expansions, deregulation, and immigration changes could affect sectors. Manufacturing, tech, energy, and inflation. Trade tensions with China remain a key watch point. Global events with potential market impact. G20 Leaders Summit, December 14th through 15th. Miami, really? Discuss trade, economic nationalism, geo-economic issues could influence global coordination or lack thereof. Invitations to non-members. Signal potential shifts. Interesting. FIFA World Cup, June 11th through July 19th. USA, Canada, Mexico. Boosts to tourism, consumer spending, and related stocks, media, hospitality, though impacts are typically short-lived. Interesting. NATO Summit, July 7th through 8th. So July is going to be crazy. This is in Turkey. Amid ongoing Ukraine conflict and European tensions, outcomes could affect defense spending and energy markets. 4 major elections: Brazil, presidential and congressional. Outcomes could sway emerging market sentiment and commodities. Others: Colombia, congressional March. Peru, Costa Rica, and various Asia, Europe over 2026 features fewer superpower elections but risks policy shifts in emerging economies. Other central bank decisions: ECB, BOE, and others diverging from Fed, potential pauses or hikes in some regions. PBOC, gradual easing amid U.S. tensions. Ongoing geopolitical risks: U.S.-China, East Asia tensions, Taiwan contingency risks, Middle East conflicts, Ukraine war, and new economic nationalism. Extreme weather. What? Extreme weather and supply chain disruptions ranked highly in global risk reports. I've never heard of that. Extreme weather affecting the global financial markets. Wow, that's some crazy ass weather. Markets appear optimistic for growth, AI, energy, but vulnerable to policy shocks, election outcomes, or escalations. Diversification across assets and monitoring Fed signals midterm polls will be key. Okay, that was a long answer, but I feel like there's a lot of insight. There's a lot of crap coming up in the next 12 months. That's crazy. We then asked about the Vitalik Buterin thing. Vitalik Buterin says that prediction markets should pivot from speculation to hedging and replace fiat with personalized risk protection. What exactly does that mean? Can you explain this to me? Vitalik Buterin recently shared these thoughts in a detailed X-post, expressing concern about the current direction of prediction markets. Platforms like Polymarket, where people bet on event outcomes such as elections, sports, or crypto prices. Current issue: over-focus on speculation. Vitalik worries that prediction markets are converging too much on short-term speculative betting, things like gambling and crypto price movements, or sports results. These provide quick dopamine hits and revenue, especially in bear markets, but he calls this unhealthy and corpo slop, low-quality, unsustainable products. It relies on attracting naive traders with poor predictions, which creates bad incentives for platforms and doesn't add long-term societal value like better information or risks management. Here's my thought process here. I think Vitalik sees the writing on the wall, that the market is so wrecked recently that he sees everyone fleeing to prediction markets, and this is his way of saying, we need to do something, because all of our money, all of our liquidity is going to that, and I'm not okay with that. Me, Vitalik Buterin, I will not have these mother effers taking my capital. As he hits the sell button, hurry up and sell, the price is going down more. Oh man, what a mess. Okay, we read that. Proposed pivot, generalized hedging. He argues prediction markets should shift toward hedging, using them as tools for risk protection similar to insurance. In any prediction market, smart traders provide accurate info and profit. Someone else loses money on average. Vitalik says relying on naive losers is cursed. A better sustainable model is hedgers, people who accept small expected losses to reduce their overall risk exposure. Simple example, if you own stocks in a biotech company that would suffer if certain political party wins an election, you could buy prediction shares betting against your preferred outcome. This offsets, so that's like opening a long and a short at the same time? That sounds stupid. Bold vision replacing fiat with personalized risk. This is the big question that I had. Rethinking stablecoins and even fiat currency itself. People use stablecoins for price stability, to ensure they can cover future expenses without volatility. But USD-backed stablecoins tie crypto to centralized fiat, and a one-size-fits-all currency doesn't perfectly match everyone's needs. Your expenses might be heavy on hedging or on housing in one region, healthcare, or tech gadgets. His proposal, create prediction markets on detailed price indices for various goods and services, rent in Europe, medical costs, etc. Use AI like personal LLM to analyze your spending habits and recommend customized basket of prediction market options. What? This basket effectively ensures your future purchasing power for your specific expected expenses. Result, you no longer need fiat or fiat-pegged stablecoins for stability. Instead, hold growth assets for wealth building. Hold this personalized hedging portfolio for stable value tailored to your life. That sounds like a huge waste of money. This creates a more decentralized, efficient system where prediction markets provide personalized risk protection, potentially replacing fiat's role as a store of value for everyday needs. Markets would need to be denominated in desirable assets to make it practical. It's short, Vitalik wants prediction markets to evolve from gambling speculation platforms into sophisticated, sustainable hedging tools that could transform finance, making it more personalized, decentralized, and useful for real risk management rather than just bets. It's an ambitious, futuristic vision tied to crypto's long-term potential. That doesn't make any sense to me. I'm dumb because I still don't get it. That neither do I. What? I don't think Grok explained it good at all. It's like people should just prediction market their own grocery bill as a hedge against their own grocery bill so that they can pay for their own grocery bill with their own grocery bill. And then you can invest. What? That doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense at all. Literally, I'm at a loss. I can't even make a joke about it because I don't know what it means. Let's see. I'm actually angry. I'm irritated that I don't understand. Soon you won't have a short. You can just predict up or down prices. Like, all I can think of is maybe he's like, well, instead of buying groceries this week, I'm going to predict that my groceries are going to be more expensive next week. And if they're not, then I'll lose that money. But my groceries will be cheap, so it won't matter. And if they do, then I'll win more money, so I'll be able to afford the expensive groceries. That sounds retarded. I hope that's not what it is. That sounds so stupid. People are okay, hold on, wait a minute. His proposal, create prediction markets on detailed price indices for various goods and services. Use AI to analyze your spending habits and recommend a customized basket of prediction market positions. But for what? This basket effectively ensures your future purchase. Yes, that's exactly what I just explained. That's what it is. That is the dumbest idea I've ever heard in my entire life. Bet that your groceries are going to be unaffordable. So if you can't, how would you prove that? You can just manipulate the market and be like, oh, I can't afford my groceries this week. And the poly market's like, okay, here's your money, dumbass. And you're like, haha, I just literally insider traded. What? That doesn't make any sense, bro. Chainlink is not going to go to my local grocery store and figure out how much eggs cost today. This is one of the goofiest things I heard. I'm kind of mad that I even looked into it now. Because it's dumber than my original concept. I should have just let it be. It's crazy. Wow. I did not know that Vitalik was a heavy psychedelics user. I had no idea. Holy crap. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Okay. Portfolio update. It's been a while. It has been quite some time. The 1K to 10K Grok portfolio is only down $626 or 62.6%. Best performer here is Solana, down $48 or 48%. Worst performer is Aptos, down $85 or 85%. That is crazy. Then we've got the meme coin portfolio, currently down 679% or $679 or 67.9%. Best performer here is Pepe, down 97. Worst performer is GigaChad, down 181. Then we've got the narrative portfolio, my favorite, and I believe the most stable, the best performer. Currently down $263 or 52.6%. I can't even speak anymore. I'm so dumb from that Vitalik thing. That was the most confusing shit I've ever heard. Best performer here is Pepe, down $30 or 30%. Worst performer is Fetch, down $70 or 70%. Wow. So Fetch is like the opposite of Pepe. That's actually crazy. And last but not least, the knife catching portfolio, which evidently was not a knife. It was actually a grenade filled with razor blades that we ended up catching. This is actually doing better than the narrative portfolio. Interesting. Down $588 or 58.8%. Best performer here is Chainlink, down $41 or 41%. Worst performer is Avalanche, down $63 or 63%. Nope, I lied, $73 or 73%. That is crazy. Then we got Graph. Yeah, Graph, Ondo. They're not actually that far off. It's crazy to see how similar these are. Pith, Render, Sui, Ondo, Graph, Avalanche. Chainlink is the best performer here. Good on Chainlink, man. Pith is up 22% in the last 7 days. Damn. Mondo's up 11.11. Make a wish. Alright, cool stuff, guys. Bitcoin getting a little bit green on Valentine's Day. Let's see if we end up getting a green weekend. That'll be pretty cool. I think I'm going to call it. Been going, how long have we been going for? 2 hours and 12 minutes? 25% of my frames are dropped. I got to optimize something on my computer. I might have to get a new GPU. Alright, ladies and gents, let's end our poll. I asked you guys, does the Clarity Act pass before the end of February? And 67% of you guys said no, more delays. 33% of you guys said yes, bullish. And 0% of you guys said only with a yield band, bad for Coinbase. Alright guys, as always, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, it does look pretty spicy, so we might actually end up having a bullish pump emergency live stream. We knock on wood. Time will tell. We'll see though. Usually weekend moves are a little dicey as well, so we're going to keep our eye on that tomorrow evening and see what Monday, Tuesday looks like. Monday is a federal holiday, so it's going to be a little funky for the stock market, but we'll deal with it when we get there. As always, guys, like I said, when the market starts to do anything crazy or anything at all, I will hop back on. Otherwise, I will see you all tomorrow. Don't forget to smash the like button on your way out. Happy Saturday, happy Valentine's Day, and good night.